Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Monday Motivation. This is the time where we go over, it's the time we go over exactly what it takes to overcome sales call reluctance, procrastination, self-sabotage, fear of getting on the phone, fear of getting in front of video, fear of failure, all those things. I'm going to take you in a bit of a deep dive into not just my process, but also my background, help you understand some of the things that I've overcome, and see if we can help you work on some of that stuff. So sit tight, and we'll be right back for Monday Motivation. All right. Hey, good evening. And every time I do that, when the recording comes out, it's going to be like I was screaming and it's all vibrato and stuff. Oh, well, I'll have to figure that out later. Thanks so much for joining me tonight. I'm excited to have you here for my standing Monday Motivation podcast or presentation, I guess we would call it. I haven't done it in a few weeks, but I'm making sure I'm doing it now. So anyway, we're going to take a deep dive into the process that I use to help people overcome sales call reluctance, and more specifically also talk about what you can do to overcome your own sales call reluctance. I'm also going to tell you a little bit about myself, where I came from, and show you that pretty much anything is possible. So we're going to go ahead and share our screen right here, and we're going to be off and running. So bear with me 1 second here. And away we go. All right, super. So you should be seeing my perfect. Okay, so here we go. Whoops, where the heck are you? There we go. Thank you. Sorry about that. So basically, this is how I overcame sales call reluctance and sold 72 houses in 14 months without any real estate or real sales experience, and definitely no real estate experience. And as an absolute newbie in the real estate industry, just saying. So here's the thing. If you failed at prospecting, selling over the phone, or doing anything that has to do with sales whatsoever, if you have any sales reluctance at all, the first thing you need to know that it's not your fault, okay? We're going to talk tonight about where it comes from. And, Will Smith said something in a video I posted a while back. He said, although certain things that have happened to you in your life are not your fault, once you know that the problem exists, it is your responsibility to fix the problem. And so tonight we're going to talk about how you can do that for yourself, okay? If you're concerned because in the past you haven't been able to generate consistent sales for yourself from your efforts, you've had lots of peaks and valleys, or more valleys than peaks, I'm going to show you how you can change all that in basically way less time than you'd think. If other salespeople in your office or even your market, knew you were going to get better, they would not be happy. They don't want you to get better because they want to keep taking their unfair share of what's going on in the market. And once you learn how to overcome your sales call reluctance, prospect on a consistent basis, get on video on a consistent basis, call your past clients on a consistent basis. And if you're in a program like EXP, recruit on a consistent basis, that's not going to be something they're going to be happy about, because that means you're going to start taking their share. Okay. And lastly, if you've ever thought about, probably not lastly, but if you've ever thought about leaving your sales career, don't. Okay. Because the reason is I'm here to actually show you how to crush your sales call reluctance. Crush it and start generating good, consistent, legitimate income in your business. Like I said, way faster than you'd imagine possible. So here are my goals for you. So the first one is I want to help anyone who's afraid to pick up the phone to prospect, call for referrals, recruit new people, get in front of a video camera, any of those things. I want you to basically know that I'm looking to help you overcome your fear of any way, shape, form, embarrassment, failure, anything else like that, and become a master at making calls, getting in front of the video, and doing all the things I just mentioned there. Okay? Also, the only way for you to start getting consistent leads and income is for you to crush your sales call reluctance, okay? Right? Consistent action doesn't always produce consistent results, but it does produce success. And certainly you can't get consistent business unless you're prospecting and doing other activities of reaching out in front of two people to get them to do business with you. And the only way to effectively crush your sales call reluctance is to go through phone sales secrets. Who am I? Well, I used to look like that guy right there. I've got myself a nice beard here. But so look, I didn't have any real sales experience until the age of 30. I worked in the mutual fund industry, did a bunch of work on the phone, but never really actually sold anything to somebody where, well, I did, and I'll tell you about that in a little bit, but I didn't really actually spent any consistent time learning how to sell to anybody prior to 30. I really suffered from sales call reluctance for 10 years myself. But what I did is from looking at my life and my experience, I've actually created a system that helps people crush their sales call reluctance and master selling anywhere, any product, anywhere around the world. Doesn't matter if you're male, female, anything else like that. System works. Okay. I sold 72 homes my first 14 months in the business for a little over 275,000 in GCI. And then I've lost everything in my life over 4 separate times. So despite the fact that I'm able to make money, I've actually been pretty good at losing it too. At night 2014, I had 54 cents to my aim. That's it. And then, what I do, what I've done, what I love doing is helping agents and other salespeople make millions a year by teaching them how to overcome sales call reluctance and how to build a business that's going to take care of them and their family for years. So here's a little bit more about me. I had a somewhat emotionally abusive childhood. Nobody really beat me per se. We did get the belt and the spoon and other things, but it was more of a emotionally challenging childhood. Okay. And so that really helped create a tremendous amount of doubt in my mind, poor self-esteem, very low self-worth. And essentially what that did is after I graduated from college in 1990, it really kept me from exploring what I could have explored based upon my skill set and what I was good at, because I was so afraid of failure and embarrassment and really phone sales reluctance. Really got tired of working for others and making them wealthy. I was working in the mutual fund industry up until 1998, working, 70, 80 hours a week. I was making decent money, but I wasn't making the kind of money the company was making, And then, like I said before, I made a solid 6 figures my 14 months in the business as a real estate agent in New Hampshire. And again, I lost everything in my life 4 times. And when I say lost everything, I mean pretty much everything. I did spend 366 days in federal prison between 2013 and 14, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. And but I've also had some really good fortune. I've had the good fortune of working with some of the top United States and agents in the U.S. and Canada and help them make millions of dollars a year, and more importantly, create the lives that allow them to step away from doing their business and be with their families. Okay, and most importantly, and the last couple of years, I've created a system to help people overcome sales call reluctance. All right. And then that's it. No matter if your fear is the camera, is the phone, is calling your past clients, it's fear, people but you're afraid to get referrals from them. Anything that has to do with fear related to sales, I can help you get over it. So how does this apply to you? Like I said, it works no matter what industry you're in at the moment. Works if you're just starting out. Makes it possible for you to generate consistent income. Doesn't matter where you are in your business. And literally anybody can do this. So just to give you an idea before we launch here, let's take a quick look at this guy's a good friend of mine, but also one of my clients. Let's hear him, because he was actually one of my first actual, how can I explain this, business clients that I did this with. I worked with other people on things, but this was really he was really one of my first folks that I worked with that followed the process. And I want you to hear what he had to say about the process I took him through.
What's going on, everybody? Just doing a video testimonial for Wally Blessler, guy, man. I hired Wally back in it was August or September of last year as a coach for my real estate business. Many of you that don't know me know I'm a full-time fireman, so I will do a lot of crazy things at the drop of a hat. But to get me to get on the phone to cold call and everything like that was like pulling teeth. And so Wally and I, we dug deep. He said, we got to tame those gremlins. We got to get rid of those gremlins. And once you figure out your why, and if your why is big enough, then you can do whatever you put your mind to. And that's what we did. Started hitting the phones and landed a $500,000 listing. So the guy knows what he's talking about. He has a lot of knowledge, a lot of wisdom. So once you humble yourself and just take in that information from him, he'll change your life, and it'll be for the better. So appreciate you, Wally.
That's Brian O'Neill from South Carolina, and we're not going to play this again. Sorry about that. And so anyway, that's what keeps me going. That's what gets me out of bed every day, is knowing that Brian's family is going to be well taken care of for the rest of his life, because he's no longer afraid to pick up the phone. And as a quick update, through the first 6 months of this year, we just actually got off a coaching call he's made $130,000 in GCI versus $85,000 all last year. And some of that has to do with the fact that he's not afraid to pick up the phone and prospect anymore. So I'm excited for him and his family. So what we're going to cover tonight: what is call reluctance and how does it affect us? How to identify what's causing our call reluctance and learn how to stop it dead in its tracks. And then number 2, how to easily and effectively rewire your brain so you can vanquish your call reluctance for good. And secret number 3, how to define what drives you and determine your true why so you can become absolutely unstoppable. So let's talk about what's call reluctance. Okay, call reluctance syndrome, sales reluctance, video reluctance, any sort of reluctance. It's basically where people are afraid to go ahead and reach out and make calls to, like we talked about, new prospects, past clients, doing recruiting for a downline, even impacts people's ability to get in front of the camera for social media or interviews or podcasts or anything else. Okay. What it looks like, and, let me know which one of these you identify with. So it's all rooted in powerful emotions like fear, embarrassment, shame, anxiety, guilt, panic, worry. You break out in a cold sweat, sweaty palms, dry mouth, lightheaded, upset stomach, sweaty pits, just terrible feeling, right? Sometimes it's just negative thoughts of anticipation. Look, they don't need it. They're going to turn me down. It's too late for me to call. Folks like that never answer the phone. Okay. Sometimes it's just a mental block. Like you can't explain it, but you're just, it's almost like your eyes are closed and you can't see anything. So you get a mental block and then you just kind of move forward because you can't get your head around it. Okay. Sometimes we go into denial and it's denying our own negative emotional responses. Okay. And this time they keep getting ready to get ready. They procrastinate. Presentation's got to look good. I got to learn the script inside and out. My desk has to be perfect. I can't go do this because I'm not ready to do this. And sometimes it's the opposite. So sometimes it's a real powerfully emotional thing. And sometimes it's just folks that really just have a lack of understanding what they bring to the table and they don't know what to say, how to say it, and when to say it. And so for those folks, a lot of times it's just a matter of jumping in feet first and, figuring out a way to swim in the deep end and they find they can do it. But for most folks, it's a real powerful emotional response to wanting to make phone calls that keeps them from wanting, or any of those other things, keeps them doing the things that they need to do to be successful. So let's talk about where sales call reluctance comes from. So look, some folks don't really think that sales call reluctance exists, or if it does, that they think it's their fault. And let me tell you a quick story. So that guy on the right there, or on the left, I guess how you're looking at it, that Christmas ornament, I think it was 6th grade. I think it was 12 there. And on the left, it's my mom and dad. And as I always do in this part of the presentation, I'm going to preface my comments with I loved my mom and dad. Always will. But they didn't really get a whole lot of guidance and direction from their parents, meaning, my dad's mom, my Mimi, she was not a nice lady, very hurtful, very physically abusive. I remember, he had a scar on his chin. I asked him one time what the scar was from, and he said because his mother threw him off the deck because she didn't like what he was doing. And then, my mom came from a good family, her dad was from Italy. My grandpa was from Italy. Her mom was from West Virginia. But, they didn't have really great parenting skills. I mean, they just loved, my mom and her sister, my aunt. But, they didn't have a lot of good skills about rearing us. And, they just didn't have those skills. And so what happened was as I was younger, I was an only child for a few years. And, my mom was working. My dad was at home, used to drink. And, he wouldn't beat me, but he would verbally abuse me, talk down to me, tell me that I was, a bad kid, a bad boy. And so that didn't work so well. And then, the punishment for me at one point was going to bed without dinner. So you can imagine that, 4-year-old, 5-year-old kid not getting dinner, it's a big deal. And so that actually started causing issues with me with respect to food and anxiety as well. I remember my first day of 6th grade, all the other kids were eating their snack and I was eating my entire lunch just to make sure I got to eat my lunch. And so that kind of just started to snowball. And, I've had an addiction to food probably since then. And I've been at a binge eating disorder, I don't know, long time, 20 plus years. And then unfortunately I experienced some sexual abuse when I was 10, started looking at pornography magazines, my dad's magazines when I was 11. And then when I was 12, I started engaging in sexual activity on a pretty regular basis. So by the time I was 13, my head was pretty much a mess. I had no self-esteem. I had very little self-worth. Certainly didn't believe in myself. Went through a lot of bullying until the age of 14. So, I mean, I pretty much hated myself. I really just reviled who I was as a person and really had no conversations with anybody on how to overcome that. And so it kind of set off a chain reaction for a bunch of things that happened later in my life, which I'm going to talk about. I'm saying now that I'm not a victim. Okay. Some things did happen that were out of my control, but a lot of the things that happened in my life between the ages of 14 and today were as a result of things that I did, bad decisions I made, and things of that nature. So here's the thing. The first step to solving a problem is becoming aware what it is and what it is and where it exists. Okay. So we're going to find out the origin of your call reluctance. There may be more than one experience. So here's what you need to do. If you don't know where it's coming from, then what I need you to do is I need you to get a 5x7 note card to go ahead and help you. Okay. And really all that is just a little card with lines on it. And all I want you to write on it is, what is the source of my call reluctance? Or what is the source of my sales reluctance? That's all you have to do. Okay. Nothing more. And then what I want you to do is I want you to put that card on the desk where you work, and I want you to look at it. And in the car, I want you to look at it. Just keep your eyes on the road. And when you go to bed at night, I really want you to look at it, and I want you to read it. I want you to think about it. Because what's going to happen, your subconscious mind is going to go to work, and it's going to start looking for it. And it may be 1, maybe 2, maybe 3, maybe 5 reasons, but it's in there. And a lot of folks are like, hey, Wally, that's not going to work. No problem. And I can tell you with unerring certainty, everybody who even doubted it did it and said it worked. Okay. Maybe a little uncomfortable for you. You may remember some things you didn't remember, but the most important thing is that you know where it came from. Because if you know where it came from, you can make it go away. And I guarantee you, I guarantee you that there's no way it's your fault. Okay. But the fact of the matter is, like Will Smith said, even though it's not your fault, it's your responsibility to fix it. Okay. So once you get that sales call reluctance source, what I want you to do is I want you to create like a picture, right? I want you to define it. Rick Carson in his book, Taming Your Gremlin, talks about, the gremlin itself. What does that gremlin look like? And what does that gremlin do for you? And, how does it talk to you when it comes time to do things that are out of your comfort zone or that you don't feel good about? So what images do you see? Is it black and white? Is it associated, meaning you're in them, or you're disassociated? You're viewing what's going on. I want you to get acquainted with, what that feeling is and what everything looks like associated with your sales call reluctance or whatever reluctance you have. Because when you can do that, you can then learn how to combat what that is. Okay. You can draw a picture, you can, whatever, journal, but just really come up with that, experience the emotions, define it, get clear on what it is and what it does when it comes up. Okay. The next thing you need to do is you need to become mindful. And so what does that mean? Being mindful means you just got to really get into the present. You got to get into the here and now, right? We look forward, anxiety happens. We look backwards, depression happens, right? We look forward, we're uncertain about what's coming down the pike. We're fearful, we're scared, anxiety comes. We look at the past and how things have happened and they didn't happen the way they want, and they create sadness in us, and then we can get depressed. So no looking forward, no looking backward, what's happening at the present moment right now, okay? You'd be amazed at how powerful just being able to look in the present and not worrying about what happened in the past and future can be to your mindset. Now, this is not something that comes naturally to a lot of people, and it certainly doesn't come easily to a lot of people. So what you need to do is you need to go to this link right here. It's the Mindful Movement. You need to subscribe to their YouTube page, and you need to start working through these mindful meditations. Just start with a 5-minute meditation. They've got a 2-minute meditation. Start with something so that you can learn to start working with these thoughts that come into your mind and not let them take root in you and create very specific emotional responses that are disempowering and keeping you from going where you want to go. Okay. Now look, Wally, I don't know if it's going to work for me. Here's it all the time. I've really never been able to make calls before. I've never had a consistent real estate business, or maybe I had a consistent business and now it's gone. I have a lot of work to do to make this happen. I assure you, I know what that's like, and I empathize with you. Okay. I had a lot of work to do too, but I'm telling you, you can do it. Okay. Also, everything I've tried up to now has worked. People have gone all kinds of places. They've tried, met with other coaches. They've tried, prospecting in groups. They've tried to force themselves to do it. You know what? Just hasn't worked. No worries. Okay. But here's the truth. The call reluctance crusher process works for everyone and anyone. I use it to overcome my own sales call reluctance and build a successful sales career from $0. Okay. Help thousands of real estate agents get better on the phone. I've also worked with digital marketing people as well. A lot of real estate folks. Works for video reluctance too. Okay. So secret number 2, how to easily and effectively rewire your brain so you can vanquish your call reluctance so good. So here's the deal. A lot of folks, because here's what happens. Once we get to the point where we don't think we're good at something, we're just not going to get any closer to it. And they're like, you know what? I'm never going to be any good at getting in front of the camera. I'm not going to be good making phone calls. I don't like when people cold call me. Those are just denial strategies and avoidance strategies to keep us from facing what we need to face to make the problem go away. Okay. Let me show you a quick story. So look, we talked about this a little earlier. I'm going to give you a little more details. Look, I tried very unsuccessfully to sell family insurance policies in 1998. I remember I was at a cookout with a girl who I graduated from high school with at the time. There were a bunch of us there, not related to the story, but I remember the screen was closed on their back porch, and I didn't see it was closed, so I walked through and ripped the whole door off. So I definitely stood out in their mind. But anyway, Mr. Willie said, hey, I think you'd be great at sales. What do you think? Now, I was an outgoing guy, found out later in my life that a lot of my outgoingness was a result of trying to protect myself and not have people not like me because of all the shame I felt in life. But I was an outgoing guy. So why don't you work for me? So basically, this company sold, low-end insurance policies to families who didn't have a lot of money so they get some protection, some medical coverage and things like that. Well, spent the whole summer with him, pretty much bought me lunch every day. And after about 2 months, I had made one sale, and he looked at me and says, you don't like this, do you? And I said, no, I don't. He says, okay, well, I appreciate you coming in. And that was it. Felt a lot of shame, felt bad about it, but I never did sales again after that, right? And so when I graduated in college in 1990, I took the safe route for a job. My parents were like, get a job, go and get benefits, get a salary. You can't afford to take risks, right? My family was all very risk averse. And, 1990 was the second worst year since World War II to graduate from college. So it was tough to find a job anyhow. I wish I'd taken a sales job then, but I didn't. But I took the safe route. Then it took me, almost 10 years to basically figure out that I wanted to start a career in sales. And then, excuse me. And, it's funny, once I became a real estate agent, there was 1 month where all of my deals fell apart and I had no money in the bank during my first year of real estate. So it was kind of crazy. And then I just kept on pushing and working until I had success on the phone. So, I'd learned a lot when I worked in the mutual fund industry. I found Tony Robbins, Brian Tracy, Dennis Waitley. I found Zig Ziglar and really started filling my mind with a lot of things that allowed me to overcome some of the issues that I was having, to learn how to step out of my fear. And that's really what kind of got me to the point in 1998 where I was like, you know what? I'm done working for somebody else. I want to go work in the real estate industry. So sold 72 houses my first 14 months in the business for about 9.2 million in volume and 276,000 plus in GCI. 3 years later, I started doing coaching and training the agents in the office, and I helped grow the office that we worked at to over more than 400 sales annually. Also, that company was actually number 3 in the world. It was a major brand. We were number 3 in the world for buyer-controlled sales for 3 years in a row. Like I said before, I've coached some of the top real estate agents in the U.S. and Canada over the last 20 years. I did some rough math. I couldn't do it exactly, but it's well over 25,000 coaching calls, live, in-person trainings, phone trainings, video trainings, and one-on-one sales calls. And then, I've generated over $2 million in income as a real estate coach, trainer, and speaker. So I've had the good fortune of doing some great things over my career. I've helped a lot of people, done some good things for myself. But the reason I'm sharing this with you is that, what I'm sharing with you tonight is not something that I just picked out of the clear blue sky. It's really from years and years of research work and, more importantly, working with lots and lots of folks. So look, some people think, hey, Wally, look, I have very weak sales skills. That's okay, because at the end of fixing your sales call reluctance, we can actually help you improve your sales skills. I have very little time. Very few people have a lot of time. I've got 3 businesses that I work. I've got 4 amazing children. So you got to make time for the things that are important to you. And I'm telling you that if you make the time to get out of your fear and start working on your sales call reluctance, and basically I've been doing it for people, and it's taking somewhere around 45 to 60 days in most cases. But if you're willing to make the commitment, you can definitely overcome it. Low self-esteem. I've also got no consistent sales experience and a legitimate fear of the phone. A lot of personal baggage. Don't know anybody that doesn't have a lot of personal baggage. A ton of professional baggage. got that too. So what I'm telling you is all of these things here and on and on and on. I get it. Okay. And I understand that it's painful and it hurts and it's affected me. It's affected a lot of people, but it doesn't mean that it's going to keep you from getting the life, living the life you want. And here's the truth. None of that matters. Not a single bit. I had no sales experience when I started selling houses. Okay. I lost everything in my life 4 times. I know I keep bringing this up, but I'm just trying to help you understand that no matter where you are in your life right now, you can always build yourself back up. Okay. Where you are now is not an indicator of what things are going to happen in the future. Okay. That's just now. Okay. Now look, I spent 366 days in federal prison back in 2013 to 14. I was doing some real estate investing back in 2005 and 6. And unfortunately at the time I wasn't really trying to steal any money from anybody or any banks, but I trusted the process that I'd created with another individual and what we were doing. And at the same time, there were things that I saw that I ignored, and there were other things that I saw that I really didn't care specifically about. And so I was responsible for, being part of something that had about $50 million stolen from banks through mortgages. And as a result of that, I went to prison. So I accepted full responsibility for my part of what I did, and I went to jail. But, after being there for a little over a year, when I left, I literally had 54 cents to my name in 2014. So I had to rely on a ton of people. I didn't sleep on somebody's at their house. They fed me. As a church bought me clothes. Somebody gave me a car. I got my job back. But, I came from a really, really bad place. I didn't see my kids for a year, all because of bad choices that I made. Okay. But the truth is, it doesn't matter, like I said, what's happened in the past. All that matters is what's happening going forward. The process I'm going to teach you, or I can teach you, is work for men and women from the U.S. and around the world. And it's going to help you like it's helped me. And the good thing is I didn't have sales call reluctance when I got out of prison. So it allowed me to get back in and start working and selling and doing what I needed to do to take care of my family. Okay. And, it's a proven process that changed my sales career and life, and it's going to change yours too. So where does our drive come from? How do you determine your why and what makes us unstoppable? So look, some real estate agents say I can't compete with the big guys. Well, look, if you're an individual agent or an individual salesperson, or whatever you do, there's a certain number of sales that happen in the universe of your business, period, every year. And unless you're a huge organization, you need thousands and thousands of sales. You can usually scratch out what you need to create a good life for yourself, irrespective of what's going on in the market in most cases. COVID notwithstanding, it crushed certain businesses for sure, but you can compete with anybody if you're not afraid to pick up the phone and call. Okay. I really wish I could create some consistent income. The only way you get consistent income is by putting in consistent effort. Okay. I don't know another way to explain it. If you don't put in the time and energy that you have to do on a consistent basis, you can't get the consistent results. There's no other solution to it. And here's the thing. Look, I'm a big guy. I still have a lot of weight to lose. I've been addicted to pornography. I worked through that. I've been addicted to sex. I worked through that. I've been addicted to money. I've worked through that. I have food addiction that I've been working on. Finally gotten to that one, the hardest one to beat. But here's the deal. If I go to bed tonight and say, God, I want to be thin when I wake up in the morning, and I pray really hard when I wake up tomorrow, I'm still going to weigh what I weigh. Okay. And the only thing that's going to change for me is if I change what's going on in here and work on the things that I need to work through. The same thing is, your sales reluctance, your fear of the phone, your fear of video, your fear of anything is not going to go away until you finally get to what's causing it, and then go through the process of how to get rid of it. So you can create really consistent income. Whatever happened in the past doesn't matter, but you got to solve the problem that's here so you can get moving forward. Okay. I don't know how to get people to choose me. You can get anybody to choose you if you can give them a good enough reason, a unique selling proposition. You can build rapport with them. And the only way to do that is to be comfortable with yourself and having a conversation with somebody in a sales perspective. I don't know if I can be good on the phone. Anybody can be good on the phone, I assure you. After talking to, thousands and thousands of people across the United States and Canada, anybody can be good on the phone. And here's what I mean. So, I avoided prospecting and selling like the plague. And I did it 100%. In fact, funny story, I actually, on a lark, I guess I was looking for a job when I got out of college, and I did go interview for a sales manager position at a local radio station. And it's kind of funny. The guy sat me down and he goes, "So you're here to do the sales manager position?" Yeah. He goes, "What have you sold in the past?" I said, "Nothing." He goes, "Are you effing crazy? Like, you're sitting here wasting my time. You've never sold anything. That was literally the first time in my life I had gotten lightheaded and my stomach was just a mess. And he's like, get the F out of my office. And I got thrown out of his office. So, you know, I that just reinforced me that I didn't want to be in sales. You know, but despite all that, I was still able to get people to agree to work with me in my first month as a real estate agent. And there are lots of, you know, agent, you know, there's lots of agents that everybody was using. And, you know, I had no consistent income when I started, but I created and I had a strong why to make it happen. Here's why. I'd give up a job where I was making $100,000 a year. Okay. And, which was good because I was just turned 29. I was 29. This is back in like $1998. So it's good money today too. But, you know, I gave all that up. I was getting married and, you know, I needed to take care of my new family. And I just was sick of working for somebody else. And I wanted to do things for myself and make money for myself because I really believed that I could do it at the time. And so, you know, when it comes to your why, you know, I believe it should make you cry, first of all. And, you know, if you've never read Find Your Why by Simon Sinek, you should, because he's got a great why formula in there. But you've got to be able to find your why. And a lot of times your why is rooted in pain. Okay. And so I spent 30 years of my life playing it safe, not creating the life that I wanted, making good money, but not making the kind of money that I believed that I was finally worth at that time. Okay. So there was a lot of pain in not doing what I wanted, not being a real estate agent at that point. Okay. And I've created a proven program that can allow you to do the same thing for yourself. Okay. And those folks' lives have changed for the better as well. So let's look at a couple of people that I've helped, and we'll kind of let you share their stories as well. This guy's name is Alex Borsos, and he's up in Canada, and you know, wanted to play professional soccer. Did not happen for him. Really kept him from being his true self and creating a great life for himself. He came through one of my classes, and we beeped out all the swears, but everything else is pretty good. Check it out.
Where do I even begin? Wally from Phone Sales Secrets is the real fucking deal. If you're looking to get connected with somebody that actually gives a shit about you, your business, and your life goals, this is the guy that you've got to get connected with. Wally helped me overcome procrastination in terms of my outreach to random businesses and pretty much anyone to get them connected with me and to eventually sell them into growing my company. Not only that, he helped me out on a personal level, really identified some sore pains in my life and took the stress right off my back. And the way that this has impacted my business has been unbelievable. Believe it or not, I've had the best quarter of my business. I've been in digital marketing for 3 years, and by far this has been, you know, some growth that I would have never expected, and Wally's a big part of that. I'm a big believer that seeing is believing, so I'm just going to show you a quick little blurb of how much I've made. So if you see that, that's $33,073.27, and that's just midway through March. Who knows how far I can really take this? And with Wally's help, I wouldn't doubt that I'm able to cross, you know, several six figures this year. What else can I say? He cares about you. He gets real results. And he's the real f***ing deal. Can't say it enough. Definitely get connected with Wally. Get into his group. Get into his course. And get ready to change your life. Boom.
So there you have it. Love me some Alex Borsos. Great guy. And, you know, he had some tough times. His dad died when he was young. Didn't fulfill his dream of playing professional soccer. Had some really, you know, limiting beliefs. And it was really keeping him from building his business. And after going through the course and working on it, I mean, his business is doing great. I just talked to him a couple of weeks ago. He had a couple of administrative assistants and things are starting to take off. So this right here, this guy is Mr. Plus Plus. His name is Jeff Lopez. He's also my partner in the Phone Sales Secrets business, and he's built some amazing businesses in the past, and he's actually lost everything at least, once in his life. And he's actually changed the landscape for digital marketing for a lot of people, but he's a super introvert and does not like prospecting. And so it was interesting after he went through my course and actually helped him with a little bit of time blocking too. And so let's hear what Jeff has to say.
Hey, real quick, I just want want to do a quick video for my man Wally Blessler. So if you guys are not in his program yet, his program has literally helped change my life. One of the biggest things is like the time block. He helped me get control of my schedule, and like my life is like forever changed because of that. So again, shout out Wally Blessler. If you guys are not in there, he's gonna help you overcome your sales call reluctance, which a lot of you guys may not even know that you have. And like I didn't feel like I had it. I met this guy, I heard what he was about, and I was like, you know what, let me just go ahead and try out his program. Tried it out, and like I've literally like 10x my like sales call abilities. So again, not just like stretching the truth or anything like that. Like this guy knows his stuff. He knows how to like really like break down like what's holding you back and really kind of get the most out of you. So again, if you're on the fence, just go ahead and do it. You will not be disappointed. Wally is the man. Go ahead and check it out. Plus.
So,
Hey,
sorry. So I love me some Jeff Lopez, and interestingly enough, statistics say that 80% of first-time salespeople and 40% of seasoned salespeople actually suffer from sales call reluctance. So, even though he's had a lot of success in businesses and things like that, he, still suffered from it himself. So look, a lot of people are like, look, I don't know how to overcome my sales-related reluctance. That's okay. I do, and I can show you how. I know how to convert these effectively over the phone. I do, and I can show you how. I don't know how to generate consistent income for my business. I do, and I can show you how. Okay, these are not hard things to do. They're fairly simple things to do, but you have to be able to be willing to do the things to overcome what's keeping you back from doing that, so you can learn what you need to do to get consistent business coming in the door. Fact of the matter is you don't now have to know how to overcome it, because I can do it. You just have to want to make a change and know what drives you and what your why is. I'm actually going to help you spend more time finding out what your why is and what drives you. But all you have to know right now is what's driving you is that you don't want the life that you have anymore. You don't want the results you're getting right now. As long as you have that, then that's enough to get you to the next step. Okay. Converting over the phone becomes so much easier when call reluctance is gone and you're not worried about sweating or thinking about saying the wrong thing. Also, the truth is when you don't care who you have to talk to in order to get a sale, leads will come out of the woodwork. I can't explain that. Every time I start working with somebody, even with one of my coaching clients, and they start working in their business and they're like, oh my God, I didn't even know that this was going to happen. I just started working on what you told me to do, and things are coming out of the woodwork. I mean, they're not coming out of the woodwork. It's just you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. And as a result of that, more opportunities will come your way. So look, let me ask you a question. Are you enjoying the webinar so far? If you are, drop me some love. Give me a heart. Give me 100%. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know that things are going okay for you. All right. So look, here's the thing. We talked about getting clear on what call reluctance is and how it affects us. We also talked about what's causing call reluctance. We talked about how to rewire your brain. And then we also talked about a little bit, about what drives you and how to determine what your true why is. So we kind of covered the big rocks here. All right. So who's ready to take things to the next level? Okay. If you're interested in the Q&A box and whatnot, go ahead and put own the phone. That's what I like people to do, to own the phone. And now I want to talk a little bit about my phone sales secrets course. So look, here's the thing. I'd love when I hear from somebody after working them for 2 weeks and working with a woman named Ashley up in Canada. I'm going to say her name, Ashley Hutchinson, great gal. And, she's taking my course. She's in week 5. And I talked to her last week and she's like, I got some leads, and it was a Sunday, and it was a Sunday morning. And at first I was like, probably shouldn't call them because it's Sunday, but I just picked the phone up and called them. Wouldn't even think about it. And I picked up 2 opportunities for that. And so, not being afraid of the phone just helps you grow your sales exponentially. You not being afraid to get in front of the camera, to record videos, to make yourself known in your marketplace, grow your sales exponentially. You being willing to recruit crazily for your MLM or, for EXP, going to change your life forever. Okay. It's going to grow your sales exponentially, but you got to break free of your call reluctance in order to be able to do that. Okay. So look, here's what you get. I got a 6-module program, basically takes you through the entire process of how to overcome sales call reluctance. It's an hour a week, and then I give you homework to go through, and then we check in on the next week, and then I give you homework again. So 1,000% gives you everything you need to do to make that happen. I give you handouts, and I tell you where to go, videos, and all kinds of stuff that you need to do that. And then what I want to do in my last class, I don't want to just throw you out in the water or the deep end, like I said before, with the floaties on. We're going to do some phone skills mastery at the end, so really how to take your newfound skills and talents and turn them into dollars, okay? Look, it's going to work for anybody. New salespeople who want to get results, accelerate results, seasoned salespeople who want to get their business to the next level, Anybody who's afraid of the phone, who wants to break free of their sales call reluctance and enjoy consistent income. Also for business people who suffer from sales call reluctance, procrastination, and self-sabotage. I mean, you don't even have to be a salesperson. You can be a business owner, which is a salesperson. You could be in resources. You can be anywhere. I mean, if you're afraid to pick the phone up or do something that is going to embarrass you, that you're afraid where you're going to fail or you're going to be judged, this is what it's all about right here. And then even for somebody who want to, start their own business but are afraid to get the ball rolling. And look, here's why people don't get started with me, right? They think because for your entire life you believe you're not a good person, you didn't deserve good things, that you need other people's approval. By the way, which you don't. You only need approval of one person every day, and that's the person you look at in the mirror. You've gotten rejection, failure, you beat yourself up, okay? A lot of people think there's this thing called imposter syndrome where you can't call somebody because you believe you're a fraud. So that's a big reason why people didn't get started. Also, I'm here to tell you that none of that's true. And I believe that. And together, you and I are going to make those beliefs go away for good. So anything you feel any of these things here, we're going to make those, what do they say, disappear them, okay? But here's what you're going to do. You're going to get that 6-module sales secret program plus the bonus phone sales training. It's a $349.7 value plus the last training is $997. What else? Total value $44.94. You also get these things. I've got a phone sales secrets mastermind community coming up. It's going to be including daily sales and performance tips, podcasts and interviews with experts on sales, business, and mindset management, overcoming obstacles, video strategies, and so much more. So you can get in on that, right? That's my phone sales secrets Facebook page. I got some new things coming down the pike. With that, you're going to be able to mastermind with other salespeople and entrepreneurs who are growing their business and building new belief systems. You're going to get access to ask me questions specifically about selling and overcoming sales call reluctance, so you can become a world-class salesperson and business person. And then I think June, I'm going to have a monthly mastery talk with other salespeople around the US and Canada, so we can learn how to reposition ourselves in our industries as the world changes. By doing this, you're going to get rid of fear and hesitation. Again, phone, video, anything else, getting face-to-face. The stress associated with not having consistent sales income. And I'm telling you, there's nothing, there's lots of things that are worse, but having to look at your bank account to make sure you have enough money in there on a monthly basis, then they're not fun. Going to the I'm laughing because of me, but going to the grocery store someplace else and pulling out your debit card or your credit card, and even if you're not Catholic, making the sign of the cross open that the card goes through. A lot of stress associated with that. Not being able to provide for your family, a lot of stress from that. And most importantly, the pain of not reaching your goals and the inability to make the money you need for your family. All that's going to go away. Again, look, I suffer from sales call reluctance. I hated myself for a good portion of my life. I have no desire to put myself in any position where I would experience fear, embarrassment, or anything else like that. I went from zero with no sales experience to doing very well in real estate business, and then coaching real estate agents and doing sales and sales training for the last 20 plus years. I had to create the process myself. It took me like 10 plus years so I could actually just do this. But by creating it, I've been able to help thousands of people build a life and businesses of their dreams. And that's exactly what phone sales secrets is going to do for you. So you don't have to figure out what to do on your own. I got to figure it out. Okay. You don't have to wait months or years to overcome sales call reluctance and become a master at selling like I did. I'm going to teach you how to do it in about less than 2 months. And then you don't have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars with me or anybody else to solve the problem. You don't have to search far and wide. You just keep beating yourself up and asking the same question and getting the same answer, because I'm going to do that for you. A lot of people say to me, you know what? I can't do this because I'm afraid of the phone, or it's just not going to work for me. Look, listen, here's the deal. That's not a problem because it has worked for me and salespeople of all kinds. It's proven, repeatable process you can count on working. So it's not a problem for you, okay? That's for me to solve for you. So you're going to get the course. You're also going to get the Sales Secrets Facebook Mastermind community. All right. Total value of those things together is $8,058. You're also going to get my $1 million scripts vault. So look, I spent years and years and years and years testing countless scripts, writing them, testing them, seeing what works, what doesn't work. I figured out what works and what doesn't over the phone. Okay. You're not going to have to basically figure anything out, because I'm going to give you a detailed breakdown of what to say, when to say it, and how to say it, so you can avoid all the mistakes that I made along the way. And you'll also be able to come to regular live role-play and script sessions in my room on Clubhouse. It's going to make it easier for you, faster for you to convert suspects into prospects, prospects into clients. And because all the scripts I'm going to give you are tested and proven, and because you're not afraid of getting on the phone, you're going to be happy to use them. it's funny, one of the things I hear from people who have sales call reluctance is, I don't want to use scripts because then I'm going to sound scripted, which makes no sense at all, because just because you use scripts doesn't mean you're going to be scripted. It just means you're going to be able to control the phone call. All right. Now, it's funny I talked about that, but I promise you they're going to work for you and change your life. Okay, so $497 value for that. That brings our grand total to $8,555. Okay, but here's what you're also going to get. Prospect qualification checklist, right? There's no reason to meet with anybody if they're not ready to buy or sell what buy a house, sell a house, buy your product, sell to you. And, if you continue to meet with people who are not ready, it can really crush your spirit and momentum. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure you never do that again, because I'm going to give you some prospect qualification checklists that are going to make life so much easier for you to make sure you're working with the right people. Okay. In addition to that, you don't need to worry about having them come to the office, twist their arm, spending days with them or weeks with them or months with them down the road, only for them to tell you that, hey, listen, I'm still not ready. Okay. And that's for $297, brings our total to 8,000. Whoops. Right here. So you get all those things for $8,852, but you're also going to get my time blocking strategy. Here's what I've learned is that the same thing that keeps you from being successful in sales and having call reluctance is the same thing that keeps you from following your time blocked calendar and making excuses and letting other things get in the way. The same thing, it's the belief system about what you're worth and your self-esteem. So time is your most valuable commodity as a salesperson, and it's hard to get done when you need to get done each day to make consistent progress. A lot of people lose out on sales opportunities just because they don't allocate the time they need to do what they need to make it happen. They also miss out on time with their family because they're continually running around doing things in a very scattered manner. Okay. I'm going to show you how to do that so you never waste another minute of your time. Okay. And then it's going to help you get more done each day, going to get you some time for your family. A lot of people get into sales, especially commission sales, because the upside earning potential is amazing. But what happens is they get so busy working that they forget that they got into the business to make more money for their family so they could make more time for their family. Okay. I'm going to show you what to do, when to do it, and how to do it each day. Okay. It's also going to help you get prospects and everybody else you work with more respectful of your time, which is going to be amazing. Okay. So look, you're going to say, hey, listen, if I schedule my entire calendar, I'm not going to have freedom to do what I want. But I'm telling you, when you use my system, you'll actually have more time than you think, and you'll actually enjoy having the freedom of time to do what you want when you want, because the strategy that I've used has worked for thousands and thousands of salespeople around the US and Canada, right? Now, look, you just got to start thinking outside the box here. Here's the deal. Listen, I'm not going to charge you I'm sorry, I skipped through that. So the time blocking system, it's just under $9,400. So look, I'm not going to charge you $9,400. But look, if I did charge you $9,400 and all I did was show you exactly how to overcome your sales call reluctance so you could generate 1 to 5 more sales per month, each month like clockwork, would that be worth it to you? You just got to think about what you make per sale, and less than 10 grand. What does it take for you to get 10 grand? How about if I helped you land 1 to 5 more clients in the next 30 to 45 days? Would that be worth the $93.49? How about I just helped you generate 1 to 2 more referrals a month? Would that be worth the $93.49? How about if I just was able to help you get on the phone and never be afraid to make a phone call again? Never afraid to get in front of the video to record anything. Never afraid to call your past clients in your sphere to ask for a referral. Never to go ahead and build your downline for your business. Would it be worth the $93.49? Now look, when I created this, I had 2 choices, right? I could make it cheap, or I could make it valuable. Okay. So what would it be worth to you if you would overcome your fear of anything related to sales and you could create the business and life of your dreams? What would that be worth to you? How about if you're able to recruit an army of perfect salespeople to help you build a powerful, profitable downline in your business, like something like EXP? What if you could make movies like a movie star and attract businesses to you? What would all that be worth to you? I mean, think about it. We overestimate what we can do in a year and we underestimate what we can do in 10 years. But if you had no fear related to doing what you needed to do to sell in your business, how would that change your life? How would that change your business? And what would be worth it to you to never have to worry about that again? So look, it's $93.49 value, right? Regular price just for the class is $44.94. But look, I'm going to give you a special discount today because you're here with me on this webinar, okay? Well, here's the rub. Phone sales secrets, all the calls, all this supplemental information, all the additional things, the time blocking, the checklists, the classes, everything else like that, the access to the group, not $93.49, not the regular price of $44.94 just for the classes, just $9.97 or prepayments of $3.97, whatever works for you. Quite honestly, we can hack it up any way you want it. Okay, I want you to do this because I know it's going to change your life. So you let me know what works for you to get you to $9.97, and I'll make it happen. Okay, just got to go to phonesalesecrets.com/go, hop in there, take the class, and register, and let me know that you want to do that. So look, I mean, you've got two choices, right? You can go at it alone, or you can take the toll road. Look how nice the toll road is. Look how easy it is, how the cars flow, or you can go ahead and work real hard for the rest of your life and continue to experience exasperation and pain and all the other things that come along with not getting the results you want, not figuring out how to solve the problem. So look, here's my guarantee, okay? If you go through my phone sales secrets class and you don't overcome sales call reluctance so you can start selling effectively over the phone in front of anybody, video, anything else like that, I'll give you all money back. Okay, that's how strongly I feel about it. I'll give you every penny back. So plain and simple. Now look, if you follow it, it works. One more thing here. Is it worth gambling a few minutes of your time to check this out? Geez, I hope it is. Even if I do half of what I said today, it's going to change your life, and it'll basically, probably after your first or second sales call. All right. So what I'd like to do is hop on the phone with you, so you can definitely request a call with me if you'd like. Lastly, if this wasn't enough, here's the thing. Drum roll, please. Anybody have a drum roll? Play the drum roll. So look, here's the deal. My partner Jeff and his partner Josh came up with a program. It's called the DIP Method Masterclass. It's a method featured on entrepreneur.com. And basically what it does is it helps you narrow down the sales process to a much smaller, manageable approach that helps you gain authority and trust and close clients in many cases in the first sales call. Okay, no more clunky, crazy pitches. And right here it says you might be thinking you can't use this because you're not the world's greatest salesperson. The reality is that you've just been taught wrong in many cases. You've been taught to add unwanted pressure and create questions and objections from a prospect. That doesn't matter. That don't matter. So we're going to change it for you by teaching you the DIP method. You get a whole masterclass on it. That's worth just about $2,000 itself. So look, here's the deal. All of these things, the class, the mastermind community, the scripts and dialogues, the qualification checklists, my time blocking system, and the masterclass. All right. All that's worth about $11,346. And all you have to do is go to phonesalesecrets.com, or you can send me an email to Wally at phonesalesecrets.com. Let me know you're interested. I'll give you all of that for $9.97, and we can break the payments up any way you have to make it happen for you. All right. That's about it. Okay. Do you have any questions, my friends? Do you have any questions? I think I stopped sharing my screen here. Excuse me. Sorry. A little technological difficulty here. All right. Any questions? Anyone? Nope. We're good. Okay. Listen, great having you here today. Super, super happy to have you join me. I'm going to record this and leave it up for a couple of days. If you have any questions, let me know. But listen, you're not stuck with you the way you are. You're not stuck with your phone sales secrets. You're not stuck with any of that, okay? What I do know is that if you don't make a change, nothing's going to change. So like Will Smith said, I'll say it again. Not your fault how you got here, but it is your responsibility to fix it. All right, that's our Monday Night Motivation. Talk to you soon. Hey there, this is Wally Blessler, and on behalf of my guest today, I'd like to thank you for joining us for this episode of On the Phone. If you'd like more information on how to overcome sales call reluctance, procrastination, and self-sabotage, and become an expert on the phone, go to www.phonesalesecrets.com. And if you'd like my free course on how to overcome sales call reluctance, please go to www.phonesalesecrets.com/go. Good luck and good selling.